Of the Newhawk First Nation prepare to begin repatriating a totem pole from the Royal BC Museum in Victoria tomorrow. Another repatriation is already underway to return a house post to the Gitxaala Nation on the province's north coast. As Julie Nolan reports, its return from the eastern United States has been an emotional journey for the nation because, in part, the post is a link to their ancestors.
The people of the Gitxaala Nation call it a bittersweet return of a cultural treasure.
It's standing up to people again. It's a symbol of pride that we're still here, despite these efforts to wipe us out.
This house post is a type of totem pole chopped down by Christian missionaries in the 1890s. Then later on in 1917, on the other side of the continent, the Peabody Museum at Harvard University bought it from a fishing company, where it remained as a first-floor exhibit until almost 20 years ago.
You don't always have the sort of detailed provenance that allows you to really say, oh yes, this came from here and belongs here.
A couple of years ago, the nation reached out to the museum asking for the return of the post. They say it was from one of its clans.
But this one specifically is Gitxaala, and that's Gitxaala, the people of the Naganaks. It was territorial. It was also historical to show other neighbors and in the world who we are as people.
The museum says while they're fully committed to repatriation, it was up to the nation to fundraise the minimum $21,000 to bring the item back home, a piece of their library of knowledge.
It's not just issues around repatriation, but how can we do reparative work in all areas of the museum's activities.
The house post is now on its way from Massachusetts, arriving in Prince Rupert next month. It will be housed at the Museum of Northern BC until the nation's own museum is set to open next year.
It's a really exciting moment, when we're doing this, and it's important business, a tribal business that we're going to be bringing back to honor our other neighbors and recognize them, as well as our own people.
With repatriation ceremonies to come, the Gitxaala Nation calls this just the beginning of heading in the right direction. Julie Nolan, Global News.
After the break, Yvonne and